My name is Peggy Millikin. My firm is Millikin Intellectual Property Law. I joined IR Global just a little over a year ago, so I've just passed my 1-year anniversary. And I joined IR Global because it's a unique organization that brings together a lot of people who are like-minded. And I had been in some large international companies doing international deals, managing international portfolios, and then went into a law firm into private practice, and then 3 years ago decided to start up my own business, which had been my dream for a long time. And it's worked out wonderfully, and about a year ago I received the invitation to IR Global and investigated it. And I'd gotten invitations from other organizations, and really they hadn't interested me. But this one was different because I'm discovering that there's a type of person that, there's a similarity in career path and in journey that is drawing the members to IR Global that I think drew me as well. And that's why I joined IR Global a year ago. Two reasons. First, I enjoy entertaining. I like hospitality, and in fact, hopefully I'm not bragging, people tell me I have a gift for hospitality. And in fact, I had a Christmas Eve party just a few weeks ago and invited somebody whose husband had died. And she came over and she said that my home was filled with love and light, and it was the best, Christmas she'd had since her husband had passed away. So I like hospitality, and this was a way for me to engage in IR Global through hospitality, and I didn't have to do any of the work. You all did. But I still got to be there and be a sponsoring member for a social event and have that chance to get to know some of my fellow members. And the reason I wanted to sponsor this particular event is because it's the Deal Makers event. And I have a particular passion for that. I've worked on lots of deals, and they're particularly exciting. And I think this is because I'm helping people achieve their dreams when we're working on deals. And even if it's with a large company, sometimes we try to think of these large companies as rather soulless, but they're not. There are individuals within these companies, and they have dreams, and they're working on these transactions because there's something they want to achieve in their career and for their company. And other times I'm working with smaller individual companies where it's a more personal goal that's involved. But either way, I'm helping people achieve their dreams through a transaction, and we're often working with a cross-functional group with people who have expertise in various areas, whether it's me, intellectual property, or human resources, or environmental concerns, or real estate. And we're all working together and collaborating to achieve this end goal of either acquiring or divesting or collaborating with another company to advance their organization to the level they want to go. So for those two reasons, this was a perfect opportunity for me to sponsor. I have fostered both personal relationships and professional relationships since I've just joined in the last 14 months maybe. And I'm making friendships with people throughout the world. I think going to these conferences, meeting face to face, we've gone sightseeing together, we've had dinner together, and it's more of a personal, fun, friendship type of relationship. And then there are others that I've actually given work to, or they've sent work to me. And so far, those are still more on the professional level. Some of them I haven't even met yet. It's just through, email that we're working. So. Yeah, I have developed both personal and professional relationships through IR Global. The main benefit is meeting people in person. I mean, it's great to be able to find, the patent attorney in Florida. But one time I got an email from someone in Peru, and they wanted, to get a trademark in the U.S. And then they decided they just wanted a Florida state trademark. So I was able to refer them to my colleague in Florida, who is in the IR Global Group and does patent and trademark work. And we just have communicated, through email. But when you meet somebody in person at the conference, that makes a more lasting impression, and you not only connect on a professional basis, but you can also connect on a personal basis. And that's where my friendships have been formed, with meeting other people in person and just enjoying ourselves at some of the social events. The overview is that this group is a group of like-minded people. It seems to be a pattern with the people that I've talked to. We have a similar journey. A lot of us have been with large, international corporations or large law firms with international offices. And most of the people I have talked with have left those big companies and gone out on their own or joined a smaller group. And I think, call me arrogant, I'm sorry, but I think it takes courage and some, a healthy level of self-confidence to be able to do that kind of thing. And I've seen that similarity with the people who are drawn to IR Global. And when you do that, that means that what you're doing when you're assisting a client is the client is hiring the professional. The client is not hiring the name. And it brings, I think, even a more personal relationship into the legal representation or the professional representation of the client. And so, like-minded people are drawn together, and that's a similarity that I'm finding within IR Global. And it's easy to build relationships when you're with like-minded people. Since I've joined IR Global, I've both sent and received referrals in a number of countries. I've sent referrals to India for some patent work there. I've also received referrals from India for trademark work. I've also worked with an associate in Australia and handled some incoming patent work for them. Right now, I'm hoping to be able to refer a transaction to an associate in Saudi Arabia. We're working on a memorandum of understanding, and that hopefully will be signed soon. And after that, then the real deal work will begin, where we're looking to license some intellectual property, both patents and know-how, for the production of a product in Saudi Arabia and sale throughout the Middle East. I've also referred to the Philippines. I have a client with a large trademark portfolio in the Philippines, and we're working on perhaps transferring that portfolio to another associate. And so I've been in communication with a Filipino associate about handling trademark work there, and they have also talked to me about handling some trademark work for them. So I'm finding a lot of reciprocity. When you try to work with an associate in another part of the world, they also in turn try to reciprocate. This morning I was speaking with an accountant, actually. Not another lawyer, not about referral work, but actually I had some questions. Some of my clients set up intellectual property holding companies, and traditionally we'll set one up in the Netherlands. We have one in the US for owning and holding the US-based IP, and then we set up a company in another jurisdiction of the world for holding the international IP. And traditionally, the Netherlands has been selected because it has very the laws are very advantageous tax-wise on income that is produced from IP. And I'm learning that Belgium has recently also changed its laws to make, to lure companies into setting up IP holding companies in Belgium to compete with the Netherlands. And I was speaking with a gentleman yesterday, and we're going to meet Saturday morning to talk about these laws in Belgium, so I can now offer my clients alternatives. At least in Europe. And then this morning I was speaking with another gentleman, he's an accountant from India, about alternatives in Southeast Asia. And traditionally Singapore is used there, but there are some alternatives. You have to actually have a minimum amount of business in Singapore, and not all my clients do business in Singapore. So he's going to be sending me something with alternatives for the Asia Pacific Rim.